Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Software Testing. It's me, Daniel Knott. Happy that you're here today. Today I would like to talk about test planning, test plan activities, and how to write a test plan. You have seen it in the title already. So for those of you working in the software testing industry for a while that know writing test plans can be really time consuming, painful, error prone, and just boring. And the moment you finished writing your test plan, it's already outdated because the software that you would like to test with the test plan has already changed. So all your effort, all the work was just for nothing. And that's not cool, right? I mean, this is something that we all don't want to have in our daily lives as software testers, working with tools, working with frameworks, working with products. We would like to deliver value, contribute to the overall quality, and that's why identifying the things that you need to test on a really lightweight and easy scale is important, right? And I know that the majority of you and us, they don't like to write test reports, test strategies, or test plans because, as I initially said, they take too much time. But to be honest, in some cases, test plans can help. Why can they help? I mean, they can bring transparency. They can share the quality thinking in the team. They can share the work and the workload among the others in the team, like developers, product managers, or designers, to help you as a software tester to be more efficient. And the one thing that I really like about test plan and test strategy and all this kind of things is they bring transparency if done right and if communicated right. Yeah. And today in the video, you have already seen it in the title, I would like to talk about the one-page test plan that you might already know from the community. And the test plan is really something lightweight. It's a one-pager, as we just said, and I would like to show you hands-on how to fill out a test plan on a sample project that I created. So let's take a look. Hey, before we start with the main video, I would like to thank you the following companies for their support. They support me through the YouTube membership program that I created for companies who care about software testing and are active in supporting the testing community. Thank you once again. If you want to learn more about the supporters, check the video description down below to find the links to their products. If you miss your logo on this page, follow the QR code or send me an email. Happy testing, and now back to the main video. As you can see here, I have prepared a Miro board, and the first thing that you can see is testing articles from Ministry of Testing, the one-page test plan. And basically, that's the foundation of today's video. Claire Reckless wrote this article. I'm just opening it up. You can see it's already like from 2016, so it's a bit older, yeah? But it's still a good, really, really good article. So in case you haven't read this article yet, go ahead, check the video description. I linked it there as well. And Claire explained exactly why test plans are important, what the idea for test presentation and stuff like that. And ta-da-da, there's the one-page test plan that you can use in your daily basis as a software tester to get better in writing those plans in a lightweight way, in a lightweight fashion. So I will not go further to that on that blog post. Go ahead, check it out yourself. Let's dive deep into how to write the test plan. So we are here writing the test plan. You can read the link afterwards. At the same time, I would like to introduce to my really fancy, cool product that I just created for the video preparation. It is a login portal. Ta-da-da! So just for your context, like when we fill out the test plan, that you have something to think about, right? So imagine we have a web application and that has a login, and there's a title, there's a username, there's a password, we have a sign up, we have a login. That's it. Yeah, just for us to set the stage, to basically identify the test plan and to write a test plan now. And we use that plan or that graphic, that design to fill out a test plan. And let's see how easy that is. So as you can see here, I prepared the template. You can also find a template within the article for your use. And there you can see it has different categories. So we have the introduction, we have in-scope, we have out-scope, risk assumptions, resource, timescale, environments, and tools. And now you can use the test plan, the one-page test plan, and write for your user story, for your acceptance criteria, for whatever you have to test, a test plan. in a really easy and lightweight fashion way. And that's what I would like to show you today with this My Report here. So let's take a sticky. Let's write, oops, that's big. Let's write a quick introduction. So let's say in this test plan, we are focusing on the login, design. Yeah, this can be an introduction as an example. Yeah, so we introduce, or we focus we focus on that design that is linked basically. Yeah, or you can say something like additionally, you can say something, okay, introduction, all the documented acceptance criteria in the design user story are met. Something like that. Yeah, so you're free to introduce, or you can introduce the feature. You can give some more context on what the feature is all about, especially if you have testers outside of your team or outside of the company that should work with a test plan. So here in the introduction, you can be as precise as possible. Yeah. So really easy, just write a few sentences and then it's good to go, because the test plan should focus on smaller parts, not on a bigger scale, not on, like, let's say you have a roadmap or a product roadmap for, like, let's say a quarter, and you focus on writing the test plan on the quarterly basis. No, that's too large, that's too big, it's too time consuming. That's really for something, the login page. Yeah, and then on the in scope page, we could say something like, okay, let me quickly open up a post-it again. We can say something, so in scope we say all functional tests are executed, something like that. Yeah, so, or all functional tests are executed. What does it mean? Like, hey, functional, okay, we can directly say, okay, if we focus on the functional, we can say directly out of scope, non-functional testing is out of scope for this cycle, just to be clear, just to say, okay, we don't focus on security, accessibility, and so forth. Yeah, we could also say in a scope to be more precise, because like all functional test cases executed is a bit vague. It's like, okay, we can also say something like, okay, we test the login happy path. Yeah, or we can say we do the login error cases. Yeah, so this is something in scope. As an example, it's just like, okay, some really rough ideas that are coming to my mind. So what you can do with in scope, so really narrow down the scope to some smaller pieces that you would like to focus on. Yeah, so that's really cool. So just write a few post-its here and you're good to go. Yeah, or link it out to some acceptance criteria test management systems that you have in place. Yeah. Out of scope, I mentioned already in this example, out of scope is non-functional testing. It's really high level, a prod again. You can also like go much deeper into it, saying, okay, not security testing, not usability, but accessibility and stuff like that. Yeah. So just a few ideas here. Okay, let's go to the risks. So what can be potential risks? So yeah, the risks can be basically everything, right? Everything that comes to product development, project organization. So one risk can be a delay in development. Yeah, can be a risk if you would like to mention the risk, for example. So delay in development. Yeah, or the I don't know, the let's say the staging environment is offline, can also be a risk, right? Or I don't know, the product is not mature enough. Oops. Now I marked everything. Product is not ready for testing. Let's say this, like, yeah, product is not ready for testing as an example. Yeah, so again, you can go really specific into the risks area, or you can also say, okay, let's focus on a broader scale here. What can be potential risks if you would like to execute your test plan for that specific example, in that case the login window, right? Then we have something that in the assumptions, so something that we say, okay, that this must be there. We assume that this is correct and that available, because otherwise we cannot start working. And one example, or one thing that is the system under test is ready to use, or what else can we do is code changes are on the dev systems, something like that. Yeah, so these can be assumptions. Yeah, or everything is ready for testing. Yeah, so easy, something that you assume. Sometimes those fields are really hard to write down and to boil down, especially if you're like really on a smaller scale, narrow scale, on a really specific case. Yeah, if you go on the broader scale, it's much easier. But try to use this as an exercise again. Also use maybe the same example that I did. Get a pen of paper and try it out yourself, right? So resources, yeah, oh yeah, resources is always it's a bad wording here, but you can also use like what do we want to test? Like what is the system that we need? Do we need some specific hardware? So hardware, I'll just write down hardware. So do we have any specific hardware requirements here? I'm just making a color change. So do we have some specific hardware that we need? Or now that's what I meant with wrong wording, is like people, like I don't refer people to resources, but like how many people you need for doing that testing activity. Let's say we have like, I don't know, 2 testers plus one developer is needed in order to execute a test plan. Yeah, or we can say something like, I don't know, beta testers, or we would like to have like a team test sessions, also something that can be possible, right? Team test session to follow up on. So depending on what you would like to achieve, write it down in a really short period of time here. Then on a time scale, this again depends on the scale, on the context, I would say. Also like on the scale of how many days you're developing, 2-week sprint, for example, or even on a bigger scale. So it can be say that we do like daily exploratory testing, or you say we do like, I don't know, monthly test sessions. So again, it's up to you, the time scale. Or you can also say, okay, don't spend more than, let's say, 1 hour of testing. Yeah, so that's also possible. Yeah, so depending on how deep you're, like how close you are like into the specific design things, this can be something that you can add here. And also in how deep you are in the product development. If you know already, okay, this is like really tiny task, okay, then you can also ask yourself, like, why should I then write a test plan? If it's really tiny enough, I can just do it. And yeah, but that's the cool thing. So if you already have experience, say, okay, let's do not longer than 1 hour, because that's enough. Yeah. Or what you can also do is, for example, define something like nightly build run. Yeah, so depending if you have something that you would like to automate, you can also write a test plan for automation, for example, and then say, okay, let's execute this on a nightly basis. So now we're coming to environments, and yeah, environments can be a dev sandbox, for example. So in case you would like to test it over there, or you say it's a staging system. Yeah, it's also depending on how you call the system, or even production. Yeah, can be environment to test. Or let's add some more here. Environment can be browser versions. Yeah, browser versions, or I don't know, mobile devices. Also, oops. Now I linked it somehow. We can say something like mobile data networks. So yeah, all these kind of data networks, all these kind of things are reflected in the environments part. So to actually narrow down the environments where the tester should focus on later on. Yeah, so this is something that you can put from the environments. I mean, this bucket, or like this area, is a bit small. Also on a tools point of view, what you can do here is, of course, you can list your test automation tool, and also what else you're on a tools perspective. I see tools more also like in direction of things that I need for my test execution. So it can be test data. It can be what else? Test cases. Yeah, in case you have them. Or we can write something down like, okay, this space is not enough here. Test management tools, what else? We can also add something like, I don't know, heuristics, yeah, or some charters that we can use for the for executing our test plan. What else can we do? I think I think that's pretty much it. So everything basically as that you can use as a tool, and not tool in relation to having this as a physical tool, like, I don't know, Playwright, Cypress, Selenium or something like that. So a tool in terms of something that helps you in your toolbox to get better. It might be also the case that you need, I don't know, a text editor, for example, or I don't know, a video camera or whatever. Yeah, so write it down here. Yeah. And as you can see here, it took us like maybe like, well, let's take the watch, like maybe like 10, 11 minutes to write down a really easy and lightweight test plan for the initial login portal page that I created. Yeah. And then that's the big benefit. I mean, it's pretty high level, to be honest, but it just should give you an example, an idea like how easy it is to write a test plan. And if you use tools such as Miro or other tools that you can use, maybe use PowerPoint or whatever you can use for collaboration work, is the thing that once you have user stories in place with acceptance criteria and you would like to narrow down some more information on how to test it, that's the perfect thing to do. It's really lightweight. You can link it now to your user story, to your roadmap, to your epic, and everyone in the team can pick it up, and he or she knows, okay, this is the introduction, that's in scope, that's out scope, I need this as a resource, that's the roughly the time scale, and then I can just do the testing. Yeah, and that's super easy and fairly to implement in each and every team. And that's why I think that's a really big benefit, and that's also why I also use the one-page test plan when I teach students in software testing. Yeah, because it's a great way to do. Let's take a quick look on the benefits. As I said already, it's a lightweight tool to plan your testing activities. It focuses on relevant topics that matter to the context, and that's what I really like about it. Like, really focus on one piece of thing, focus your planning activities, and just do it. Yeah. The test plan is close to the user story. That's also cool. For me, it's a really lean way of documentation. So you can also like move around stickies, remove them, and fairly easy to do. You can change the plan quickly. You have multiple test plans per sprint. Yes, that's also what I mentioned before. If you have user stories and in each user story you have a test plan, you have multiple test plans, but you have just seen it's super easy to write them. Everybody in the team can write them. So if you enable also your developers, your product managers, designers to write a test plan, they can do it already in the discovery phase or once they plan the activity. That's cool. And last but not least, it's really fast in creation. I mean, just a couple of minutes and you have a test plan for something. Yeah. So that's the one-page test plan already. Let me know, what do you think about it? Have you already used it in your project context? Do you think it's worth using it, or do you think it's just not working out? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your feedback on that topic. And as always, like it, share it, and subscribe it. Looking forward to see you next time on my next video. Have a great day and bye.